let's talk about the amnesty and what they're going to be doing. Now, Yo-Yo, there is no actual transcript of the law that has been released by the Biden administration. So nobody has gotten an opportunity to actually read what is being proposed. Everything we know is what has been reported in the newspapers and what has been reported by the Biden administration to various professional organizations. But what has not happened yet is nobody has seen the release of the actual legislation that Biden has submitted to Congress. Eventually it will come out and we'll be able to read it. So anybody who says at this moment they've read the law, this is what it says, nobody's read it yet because it hasn't been publicly released. So everything that I am telling you is based on what has been reported to professional organizations and what has been reported in the newspaper. And this is what I know at the moment. They are going to make an amnesty for people who are part of the DACA program. So if you qualify for the DACA program and you have not applied for it yet, you would be quite silly not to do it now. In other words, do it right now. Because if you apply, you will most likely be included in the Dreamer amnesty if you qualify. If you don't apply and you say, well, I would qualify for DACA, but I never did it, well, then you're going to be out. So make sure, A, you apply if you qualify, and B, you should cover your bases or cover your ass, as they say, Yo-Yo. So if there's a lot of people who had DACA who let it expire because they said, what do I need it for? I'm working, nobody's bothering me, nobody's asking any questions. Go renew it and make sure that you are in the program now, because we don't know exactly how they are going to make this law. Is it going to be if you qualified for DACA, you can get amnesty? If you are in DACA, you can get amnesty. But what about people who are in DACA but never renewed their DACA and let it expire? We don't know. Go renew it. Don't take any chances. Because the amnesty that they're proposing for DACA and for everybody who had TPS is automatic green card versus a conditional status for everybody else. So if you are part of the DACA program, you are part of a TPS program, no matter what country you came from, you will, based on what is being reported, you will be eligible to adjust your status and get an amnesty immediately. Amnesty means green card, lawful residence for you and your family.
Is there a certain way, like you need a lawyer to apply for DACA and stuff?
Well, yeah, you would need a lawyer to apply for DACA, and I'll be frank with you, you would need a lawyer to apply for the amnesty, and you better get a good one. And I'll tell you why.
Gotcha.
Okay? What is going to ultimately happen, if it happens, this is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for people. This opportunity for an amnesty, I can guarantee you if it passes, will never happen again, at least in Uncle Brad's lifetime, which is another 30 years or 40 years. So if you think that it's going to be a simple thing and you're just going to go file it and you screw it up, you will never have this opportunity again.
Wow.
I can almost guarantee you that. Go hire a good lawyer. Go make sure you know what you're doing. It's amnesty for DACA. It is amnesty for people who had TPS. So what are you going to have to do? You're going to have to prove you're in the DACA program. You're going to have to prove you're in the TPS program. Most likely you will have to prove good moral character, perhaps poverty guidelines, perhaps no criminal records. So if you do have criminal records, maybe you need to vacate some of them. We don't know all the specifics yet. It's also going to be green cards for people who work on farms, farm workers. If you're able to prove that you worked on a farm for a certain period of time. So all of this is going to require you to save all of your documentation. In addition, if you are an unauthorized human being in the United States of America as of January 1st, 2001, you will be eligible for some sort of conditional status. It will not be a green card. Whether or not you're able to travel, we don't know yet, but you will certainly be eligible for work permission and to be legal in America and avoid deportation. And that conditional status will be over a 5-year period. That's why I'm saying if you're part of DACA, go renew it, because DACA recipients are going to be able to adjust immediately. TPS recipients are going to be able to adjust immediately. Farm workers are going to be able to adjust immediately. Everybody else who's undocumented is going to get some sort of 5-year status. We don't know what that means yet. We know it's going to be work authorization. And that conditional status after 5 years, provided you do certain things, such as probably pay your taxes, stay out of trouble, maybe some other things as well, we don't know yet. Then you could apply for your green card 5 years later. And then after that, 3 years after that, apply for your citizenship. That's not all, Yo-Yo.
Okay.
They are going to make additional visas available for all of the backlogs in the family-based petitions. When brothers and sisters are 10, 15 years, adult married children 10, 15 years or longer to wait for a green card, those backlogs are going to be reduced dramatically. That's why I've always said for years, just get in the system, because when they do change the law, they have to deal with this backlog. I knew it. So get in the system. It will benefit you even if it's a 15-year wait. I would still urge people to file for their brothers and sisters, to file for their adult children, because most likely after this law passes, they will not allow it. That's my guess. My guess is there'll be no more filing for brothers and sisters, no more filing for adult married children. They're going to say, we're going to reduce the backlog of the people who've already filed and everybody else out of luck. So if you do have a brother and sister you want to file for, you do. This is my guess. I don't know. Nobody knows for sure, but I'm telling you what I really believe. Or if you have an adult son or daughter, file now. It doesn't hurt. Just a filing fee. File now, because forever hold your peace. I really think, because what's going to happen is they're going to say, okay, we're giving millions of green cards. We've got to take green cards away from somebody somewhere.
Right.
So where are they going to take them away? Well, for the future, we're not going to allow, adult U.S. citizens to file for married children. We're not going to allow U.S. citizens to file for their brothers and sisters. I can almost assure you. Why do I almost assure you? Because every time in the past when they almost passed this legislation over the last 30 years, brothers and sisters and married children of U.S. citizens were the first ones to get cut. So that's always was on the table. They're also going to eliminate the 3- and 10-year bars if you leave the United States and overstayed your time to go home to get a green card. So no more provisional waivers. You'll just be able to go home and get your green card, hopefully. Okay. Hopefully. They are also going to make spouses and children under 21 of permanent residents immediate relatives. So we don't have, so people who are married permanent residents will be in the same position as people who marry U.S. citizens. Even if you overstayed your time, you don't have to wait for a green card. You will be immediately eligible to adjust your status. And finally, they're going to increase the per-country limits for family-based immigrants and employment immigrants. The backlog for people from India, for example, in employment-based cases could be 40, 50 years. That backlog is going to be eliminated. The backlog for family members from the Philippines, some categories are 30 years long. Those backlogs will be eliminated as well. They're going to eliminate the per-country limit for all employment-based cases, meaning that right now they limit that only 6% of any particular country can immigrate from employment-based cases to the United States of America, which is why India and China have such large backlogs, because there's a lot of IT people coming from those countries. Those per-country limits will be eliminated, and this whole backlog for Indian IT workers will be eliminated as well. They're also going to make improvements to the STEM program. The STEM is the Science, Technology, Engineering, Math program, meaning that if you came on a student visa and you are studying science, technology, engineering, and math, it is going to be extraordinarily much easier to stay. We don't know what extraordinarily much easier to stay means. This is all that is being reported right now. Will you be able to avoid a perm application and go straight to an I-140 like a registered nurse or a licensed physical therapist can do? That's a possibility. We don't know for sure, but I would guess that would be the possibility, that if you're science, technology, engineering, math, you avoid perm and you go straight to an I-140. That would be my guess. That's what it's going to be. They are also going to increase the visa lottery from 50,000 to 80,000 immigrants. They are going to expand, for the first time, access to free lawyers if you're in deportation. They're going to approve the asylum and U visas and VAWA cases to make those cases go faster. Right now, for example, they only give 10,000 U visas out a year. The backlog for U visas is 10 years. U visas are people who were the victims of very serious crimes in the United States and helped law enforcement investigate and prosecute these crimes. They are now going to increase the U visa cap from 10,000 to 30,000. There's also going to be a provision in the law that will prohibit future presidents from ever making any bans on Muslim and African countries. So the future Donald Trumps of America will never be able to do to the African and Muslim countries what Donald Trump did. They are going to aid Central America. One of the problems with all the migrants coming from Central America is that the U.S. government has cut off aid. If we can make people's lives better where they are, hopefully they don't need to escape and come to America. And finally, they're going to fund immigrant integration initiatives at the state, local, and community level. Not sure what that means, but hopefully that will benefit people too. All of this, Yo-Yo, is not a fact that this is going to happen. Why? Because this is Joe Biden's proposal to Congress to pass. Congress has to pass something. Now, we know the House of Representatives will most likely, because there's a large majority of Democrats there, the House of Representatives will most likely pass this. Now, in the Senate, it is 51 to 50. You need some Republicans to come on board, simply because I know there's one Democrat, Joe Manchin, who is from West Virginia. He is not going to vote for this. So we need moderate Republicans to come on board. There are moderate Republicans who would vote for many of these provisions, but they're going to want their own provisions in order to be swayed to vote for this. So there's going to be changes to these laws and proposals. We still have not seen the actual legislation. I hope to see it soon, and we will see what happens. Joe Biden says, Kamala Harris says, the administration says he wants this done in 100 days. So we will see what happens. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.